Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. Let's get right into it with some comic book news. Fantastic Four Life Story. It's going to be a 6-issue series, just like Spider-Man Life Story that came before it. Fantastic Four Life Story is a 6-issue series in which it's going to show the Fantastic Four and, I guess, their children and villains age through 60 decades, right? So the first issue is set all in the 60s. Second issue all set in the 70s, 80s, 90s, so on and so forth. This is going to be written by Mark Russell. It's going to have artwork by Sean Izaakse. Not familiar with that artist by the name. However, Mark Russell, really big fan of his work, and I'm excited to check this out. I think that the Fantastic Four is definitely something that leans itself to this type of storytelling with Life Story, where you're showing the character's age from 61 into today, probably showing some deaths, and reflecting the stories and the events of the time. I'm really, really excited for this. I'm not really familiar with the artist, but Mark Russell, I trust him. It's Fantastic Four. It's Life Story. I'm sold. Also in May from DC, we have Wonder Girl. Wonder Girl's the brand new Yara Flor book. I guess it's set in continuity, not quite future state, because she's not Wonder Woman. She's Wonder Girl. Now, of course, this is the show that they're doing either on CW or HBO Max. I don't remember. But the cool thing is, it is indeed Joelle Jones and Jordi Belair and Clayton Cowles is the letterer on the creative team. So the exact same creative team from the Future State Wonder Woman book is doing the Wonder Girl book, and it's going to be Yara. Its solicitation says that she starts in Iowa and she winds up going down to South America, so it seems really cool. This has been, to me, one of the standout characters of DC Future State, so I'm excited to see it get explored, and to see her kind of come into her own even more so than she actually already has. Speaking of Future State Gotham is a new 6-issue black and white series from Joshua Williamson and Dennis Culler with artwork by Giannis Milonogiannis. I probably butchered that name. It's the exact same team that did the recent Red Hood backup story in Next Batman, I think it was. No, it was Dark Detective #2, I believe. So it's the same team, and they're just doing the same thing with Red Hood. This is going to be focused on Red Hood and his new role during the Magistrate era of Gotham of hunting down vigilantes. So that's what this one's going to be. I liked the story enough. I didn't think that the tone of Future State worked so well with that art, but it at times did give me a little bit of Akira vibe, so maybe that would be neat. It's going to be $3.99 black and white 6-issue series that starts in May. Also starting in May is a 6-issue Mr. Miracle series. This is going to be featuring Shiloh Norman. This is going to be written by Brandon Easton, who's been writing the Mr. Miracle one-shot stories, the backup stories in the Superman Future State books, right? So it's going to kind of continue that story, or maybe set before, but whatever. I'm a big Mr. Miracle fan. I love the character. I think it's really definitely time for Shiloh Norman to get the spotlight. Kirby's tried it. Morrison's tried it. So now let's see if they can do it. But Mr. Miracle gets a 6-issue series. The artwork is going to be by Fico Ossio, which that's amazing. That's the artist, and I probably butchered his name, but that's the artist from No One Left to Fight, which was a great, awesome Dark Horse book from a couple years ago. Heroes Reborn, we know more about it now. It's going to have some accompanying one-shots that are going to be focusing on individual characters and their lives in this world without the Avengers. What if the Avengers never formed? Now, I'm sure we literally got a book called What If the Avengers Never Formed, but this, of course, is Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness doing their own thing. But the first announced one-shot was Peter Parker, the Amazing Shutterbug. This is going to be written by Mark Bernardin with artwork by Raphael De La Torre. Not familiar with their work, but in this world, he never becomes Spider-Man, so he's just a photographer, and he's obsessed with the biggest hero in the Marvel Universe in this Heroes Reborn world, which is Hyperion. So you definitely get a Jimmy Olsen Superman kind of vibe to it. Also, Heroes Reborn, Hyperion, and the Imperial Guard. Written by Ryan Cady with artwork by Michelle Bandini. This, basically, you can kind of see that I mean, it's so funny because it seems like the Squadron Supreme become the heroes of the Marvel Universe if the Avengers never form. So Hyperion's basically Superman. And so it's just basically like, okay, so DC Universe happens if there were no Avengers? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Hyperion and the Imperial Guard, that's interesting, especially if you look at the covers. It's going to be kind of interesting. I'm not completely sold on this Heroes Reborn stuff, to be honest. I'm not excited for it whatsoever. I am excited to see this Doctor Doom with the Juggernaut power. That seems neat and nifty, but ultimately, I think it's just going to be kind of... But we shall see, right? Something is Killing the Children, number 15, which releases at the end of the month on the 24th, will be the final issue for 2 months. Don't worry, it's coming back. It comes back in May, but just so you can go ahead and be aware and be ready for it, there is a 2-month gap in publication for Something is Killing the Children to let the team kind of catch back up and move forward into Arc 4, and I'm very, very excited for it. Ryan Coogler has signed on to do a Wakanda-themed Disney Plus series. He signed a 5-year deal to like develop things and stuff like that. One of them, of course, is a Wakanda-centric drama for Disney Plus. I think that's going to be really, really cool, and definitely a way to kind of boost up and fill out the world of Wakanda, especially since they're really not going to get back to Black Panther, T'Challa Black Panther, for a while. I'm really excited. Coogler, as the vision behind it, he did such an amazing job bringing Wakanda to life, along with all those creators and filmmakers. But Black Panther was amazing. I'm excited to see this world get fleshed out. I wouldn't be surprised if it's called World of Wakanda, but we shall see, and we'll talk about it more as the announcements get sooner. Coming to America, I watched the trailer. It's arriving on Amazon Prime March 5th, so I watched it. It's the sequel to the original 80s film Coming to America, which I love. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, come on. I watched the trailer, and it took me back. It took me right back. It seems so fun. It seems awesome. The basic premise now is that Eddie Murphy's character has to go back to America to find a son that he has, or something like that. But it's got Eddie Murphy in it. It's got Arsenio Hall in it, James Earl Jones, and so many returning cast members and new cast members. It just looks like a lot of fun. I'm very excited to check it out. We may do a special edition PCP movie night for that. And Shook was a new trailer I saw. It releases on the 18th. So that's like next week, right? The 18th of February from Shudder. So it's a horror film. It's about a social media influencer who kind of gets an obsessive fan who kidnaps a bunch of people, like loved ones in her life, and makes her like play along with some kind of weird, sick, twisted game to save their lives or whatever. Trailer seemed okay. It kind of seemed a little derivative of other things that we've seen, especially Scream, but a more modern take on it with social media around and things like that. But it still looked pretty decent, and I'm excited to check it out. So if you want to check out that trailer, it's called Shook, and it comes out on Shudder on February 18th. So that's what we got for you this week. What's coming up here at PCP? No Rockin Robbie live this week. Why? It's Super Bowl. I'm watching the Super Bowl. I got a bet with J Strick that the Chiefs are going to win. So if the Chiefs win, I get some free Taco Bell. But if the Chiefs lose, then I'm going to have to buy J Strick some Taco Bell. And as cool as that seems, you know, buying a friend Taco Bell, I'd rather receive the free chalupas. Anyway, so no Rockin' Robbie Live tonight. I hope you enjoy the Super Bowl, but we will be returning for Talkin' Comics Live on Wednesday night. Jay Strick allegedly will be here. We'll see what happens. Thursday night, we got Rich Duick on the channel. He's the writer of Sea of Sorrows, Road of Bones, and The Wailing Blades. I'm excited to chat with him Thursday night. And then Friday night, PCP Movie Night is back. Barring any unforeseen technical difficulties, hopefully we don't have any, we pushed Boys in the Hood back a couple of weeks, and next week we're doing My Bloody Valentine from 1981, the original Valentine-themed slasher film. We're doing it because obviously it's Valentine's Day weekend, and then the very next night over at Dylan's Comics on Dylan's Horror Show, we're going to be doing 2001's Valentine. We'll see. I've never seen that movie. I know it's got David Boreanaz in it, so... who knows? Also, I got to give a mad shout out to Jim Robertson. Thank you so much for your support over at Patreon, patreon.com/PCP. I appreciate every single bit of support we get. If you want to support the show financially, you can do so over there, patreon.com/PCP. So I really do appreciate it, Jim. Station. Anyway, that's what we got for you. Thanks for checking out the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And join us over at popculturephilosophers.com for podcast blogs and a whole lot more. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on reading.